Taifib, Indonesian, Batalyon Intai Amfibi, is an elite recon unit within the Indonesian Marine Corps, which is tasked for conducting amphibious reconnaissance and special reconnaissance. It is operationally similar to the Combat Reconnaissance Platoon, Indonesian, Peleton Intai Tempur, abbreviated Tontaipur, from the Army's Kostrad Corps. Taifib was previously known as Kipam, abbreviation from Komando Intai Para Amfibi, which literally means in English, the Para-Amphibious Reconnaissance Commandos. It was formed in 1961. They were officially formed on March 13, 1961 as Kipam. Set at a regimental strength of 2 battalions, Taifib is formed basically as the elite amphibious reconnaissance unit of the Indonesian Marine Corps. It was first deployed for conflict management in Irian Jaya, Papua, in April 1962. Starting from November 1971, it was called Batalyon Intai Amfibi, Taifib, or Amphibious Recon Battalion. At the time of the establishment of Indonesian Marine Corps, the Marine Corps lacks the capability of intelligence, as well as special forces trained and able to carry out special activities that cannot be done by ordinary units, in this framework of the success of a task. Answering the need of an intelligence-gathering unit, on March 13, 1961, the Marine Corps High Command issued a decree, No. 47/KP/KKO/1961, regarding the formation of the Para-Amphibious Reconnaissance Commando Unit, Indonesian, Komando Intai Para Amfibi, Kipam. Those Marines received training at the British Ranjanga Warfare Center in Malaya. During the following year, a second group attended U.S. Marine Reconnaissance training at Granada. These cadres were combined to form the core of an elite reconnaissance unit, combining airborne and amphibious skills. The Kipam unit first saw actions during Operation Trikora, as part of the Indonesian forces forward deployed to Western New Guinea as part of their operations against the armed forces of the Netherlands. Kipam and Kopassus personnel, on loan to Kopassus, both were responsible for the retrieval of the bodies of the 7 victims of the 30th of September movement of 1965, in the presence of senior military officials. On July 25, 1970, Kipam, then a detachment-size formation, was transformed into a battalion, the Intai Para Amfibi. On November 17, 1971, Intai Para Amfibi was again renamed into Batalyon Intai Amfibi, eventually renamed again into Batalyon Intai Amfibi, abbreviated Taifib. The unit was placed under the Marine Corps Combat Support Regiment. Along with the development of the Marine Corps, and the inauguration of the 1st Marine Force, Indonesian, Pasukan Mariner 1, on March 12, 2001, the Marine Corps General Command issued a decree, No. Skep/08/111/2001, in which Taifib are no longer placed under the Marine Corps Combat Regiment, and are now under the jurisdiction of the newly formed 1st Marine Forces. Looking at the scope of the assignment and its capabilities, Taifib was finally officially designated as a Special Forces of the Indonesian Navy. This was reinforced by a decree issued by the Commander of the National Armed Forces, Skep/1857/11/2003, on November 18, 2003. To complement the expansion of the Corps, 2nd Battalion assigned to the 2nd Marine Forces was raised in 2008, and a 3rd is under formation, assigned to the 3rd Marine Forces. Taifib has the main duty of fostering and providing the amphibious elements for amphibious operations, as well as becoming the reconnaissance operation unit for the Indonesian Navy Task Force, which cooperates with the IMC. The nickname of the Sea Ghost, Indonesian, Hantu Laut, was given to the Taifib unit due to their deadly capabilities within the sea, ocean. Taifib unit has individual abilities above the average of ordinary soldiers, and is able to quickly adapt to every operational surrounding environment. Infiltration and infiltration capabilities to enemy areas, free fall with HALO and HAHO, STABO, SPIE systems, swimming, diving, and underwater capabilities as combat swimmers, through submarine torpedo launchers, become the most lethal capabilities possessed by this unit. Taifib accepts volunteers from the Marines with at least 2 years' experience. 7 months of commando training include a 1-month airborne course. Airborne qualification wings are presented after 5-day jumps, 1 night jump, and 1 rough terrain jungle jump. Refresher jumps are conducted into the water. No one ever wanted an AirAsia QZ-80-501 crash into Karamata Strait. Every effort was made following the loss of contact with the Surabaya-Singapore route with air traffic control, ATC. All efforts were made, until finally the confirmation of the QZ-80-501 debris was found, and the truth was confirmed Tuesday afternoon. The debris was the unlucky AirAsia, which was supposed to arrive in Singapore. Thousands of personnel were deployed, including elite teams in each unit, both sea, air and land. With the location of the tragedy at sea, the elite Marines intervened to deploy 3 teams of amphibious reconnaissance troops, Taifib, which are the highest strata of the elite naval forces. Being a Taifib can be said to be an army that is above the average of other troops. In the past this rank was known as the Kipam, or the Amphibian Reconnaissance Command. The 3 teams of 24 Taifib personnel, deployed by the Indonesian Navy, have amphibious reconnaissance qualifications comparable to the command brevets in Kopassus, with special areas for land and sea cruising. At least, of the 500 prospective students for Taifib, usually only 50 people who pass. Training to swim in the high seas with their feet and hands tied becomes a test in itself for Taifib personnel when practicing, with the assumption that Taifib members will be captured by the enemy. Taifib has the main task of fostering and providing amphibious and reconnaissance elements, and operations by the Indonesian Navy Task Force, or other operational tasks including rescuing AirAsia this time. Despite deploying 3 of his teams on this evacuation mission, until now no one knows for sure the exact number of these frog elite troops. In order to speed up the evacuation, the Indonesian Navy plan, as instructed by the TNI commander, Mo Aldoko, plans to increase the number of divers to 47 people, who can dive to a depth of 30-40 meters, or according to the contours of the seabed where QZ-80-501 fell, this Wednesday, 31/12. The nickname Ghost of the Sea deserves to be attached to this Taifib troop belonging to the Indonesian Navy. With individual abilities above average, and able to quickly adapt to the surrounding environment. The ability to infiltrate and exfiltrate into enemy areas, free fall with the HALO and HAHO, STABO, SPIE systems, swim, dive, and underwater capabilities as combat swimmers through submarine torpedo launchers, are absolute abilities that this elite force must have.